Good evening and welcome to the Channel Studios here in London with your international news around the world in 5.
Friedrich Merz did not reach the necessary majority, 316.
Germany's conservative leader has unexpectedly fallen short of a majority in a parliament vote to become Chancellor.
A bombshell has just dropped in the German parliament. Friedrich Merz, whom you see in the center of your screen.
Friedrich Merz needed 316 votes in the 630-seat Bundestag, but only secured 310 in a significant blow to the Christian Democrat leader 2.5 months after winning Germany's federal elections. His coalition with the centre-left has enough seats in parliament, but it appears 18 MPs who had been expected to back him dissented. Merz's failure in the first vote is seen as unprecedented in modern German history. The Bundestag will now have another 14 days to choose either Merz or another candidate as Chancellor with more than half of its members. The Kremlin insists it's still planning a 3-day ceasefire after both sides launched strikes which killed civilians overnight. Russia says Ukraine launched a drone attack on the Russian capital, causing Moscow's 4 airports to shut for a few hours on Tuesday amid the barrage. Moscow is due to hold a parade on the 9th of May to mark the victory of the Soviet Union and allies over Nazi Germany. This year is the 80th anniversary of the end of World War II and will see world leaders, including China's Xi Jinping, in Russia for the event. Putin has called for a 3-day-long ceasefire from the 8th of May, something Ukraine has not committed to, with Kyiv wanting a longer truce. A senior Hamas official has said there is no point in further talks on a new Gaza ceasefire and hostage release deal after Israel approved an expanded offensive that may include seizing all of the Palestinian territory indefinitely.
Unfortunately, we have signed a deal.
Bassem Naim said the armed group would not engage with new proposals, while Israel continued what he called its starvation war. On Monday, the Israeli military said the aim of the wide-scale operation was the return of hostages held by Hamas and its decisive defeat. Israeli officials said it would involve capturing Gaza, displacing the majority of its population and taking control of aid after a 2-month blockade the UN says has caused severe food shortages. Sudan's electricity provider has said drone strikes have hit a major power station in the Sudanese city of Port Sudan, causing a complete power outage. Thick black plumes of smoke could be seen at dawn on the skyline of the previously safe city, where thousands of people fleeing the 2-year civil war have sought refuge. Explosions and huge fires have been reported near the city's main international airport as a paramilitary force targeted the key city for the 3rd consecutive day. Flights have been cancelled after drones hit the international airport and a hotel near the current presidential palace. Deliveroo, the UK food delivery app, has agreed to be taken over by the US giant DoorDash in a deal valuing the business at £2.9 billion. The combined company will have a presence in more than 40 countries, serving about 50 million customers per month. The tie-up is also expected to provide fierce competition to rivals Just Eat and Uber Eats in the UK. However, the deal is the latest example of a UK-listed company being taken over by a US firm, fueling further concerns over UK investment. Rebecca Vardy has agreed to pay almost £1.2 million of Colleen Rooney's legal costs following their libel battle. Mrs Rooney ran up a legal bill totalling more than £1.8 million while successfully defending herself against Mrs Vardy's High Court claim in 2022. After Mrs Vardy lost the libel case, the judge ordered her to pay 90% of Mrs Rooney's costs, approximately £1.62 million.
I found my old phone today, so full of love yet so full of hate.
And a video showing Ed Sheeran performing an intimate gig at a pub in his home county has gone viral. The Thomas Wolsey in Ipswich town centre was rebranded as the Old Phone, the title of his latest track. Footage showed fans gathered outside singing along, hoping to catch a glimpse of the singer. And that's your international news around the world in 5. Now back to the Channel Studios in Lagos.